Ohai. Tokyo, East Capital. The capital and the largest city of Japan, its administrative, financial, industrial and political center. The largest urban economy of the world. It is located in a southeast part of the island of Honshu, on Kanto's plain in the Bay of Tokyo Bay of the Pacific Ocean. (67 km), the population minus 14,064,696 people. On October 1, 2020. Population density minus 6,426.14 people/km. As of August 1, 2021, the population of Tokyo made 14,043,239 people. Tokyo is the urban area, city agglomeration and regional agglomeration with the biggest population in the world, with the population as of 2016 in card people, is a part of a megalopolis of Tokyo. Tokyo, being one of the biggest cities on Earth, it is considered the safest city in the world. The Tokyo Capital District. Prefecture. The administrative unit of Japan including 23 special areas, the area of Tama and island territories. Islands of Idzu and Ogasawara. It is founded in 1457 as the Edo Lock. In 1869 during Meiji's restoration the capital of the state was transferred to Edo. The capital. The previous capital, Kyoto, carrying then the official name Heiankyo, allegorically hereinafter was referred to as Seikyo, the western capital. The Russian traditional form of writing, Tokyo. Officially Tokyo is not the city, but one of prefectures, more precisely, the capital district. The only thing in this class. Its territory, in addition to a part of the island of Honshu, includes several small islands to the south from it and also the islands of Idzu and Ogasawara. The district of Tokyo consists of 62 administrative units, the cities, settlements and rural communities. When tell, City of Tokyo, usually mean 23 special areas entering the capital district which from 1889 to 1943 made an administrative unit the City of Tokyo, and nowadays are equated on the status to the cities. Everyone has the mayor and city council. The capital government is headed by a public elected governor. The headquarters of the government is in Shinjuku, which is the municipal center of the district. In Tokyo there is also the state government and the Imperial Tokyo Palace. The outdated name, the Tokyo Imperial Castle, is also used. The main residence of the Japanese emperors. The capital has official symbols, the coat of arms, a flag, the sign, a flower, a tree and a bird. History. In the 12th century the local soldier Ito-taro Sujinada constructed a fort here. According to tradition, he received a name of Edo in the place of residence. An entrance to the bay. In 1457 Otoken, the governor of the Kanto area at the Japanese shogunate, constructed Edo's Lock. In 1590 Tokugawa Ieyasu, the founder of clan of shoguns Tokugawa, took control of it. Thus, Edo became the capital of the shogunate, Kyoto remained the imperial capital. In 1615 Ieyasu's armies destroyed the opponents, Toyotomi clan, having received thereby the absolute power for about 250 years. Ieyasu created long-term institutes of management. The city quickly grew and by the 18th century became one of the largest. Meiji's restoration in 1868 was resulted by overthrow of the shogunate and restoration of the imperial power. In 1868 the Emperor Matsuhito transferred the capital to Edo, having renamed it into Tokyo. It generated a debate whether there can be still Kyoto the capital. In the second half of the 19th century the industry, then and shipbuilding began to develop violently. In 1872 the railroad Tokyo, Yokohama, in 1877, Kobe, Osaka, Tokyo was constructed. On September 1, 1923 in Tokyo and vicinities there was the largest earthquake. Magnitude 8.9 on the Richter scale. Nearly a half of the city was destroyed, the strong fire burst. About 9,000 people became the victims. Though the rebuilding plan was very expensive, the city began to be restored gradually. The city again seriously was damaged during World War II. It was exposed to the massive air attacks. Only at an air raid on the night of March 8, 1945 more than 8,000 inhabitants died. This set of wooden buildings burned down, the old imperial palace was damaged. After War of Tokyo it was occupied by the American military. There were still several American bases. Yokota Military Base. In the middle of the 20th century national economy began to revive promptly that was characterized as the Japanese economic miracle, and in 1966 it became the second largest economy in the world. Revival from military injuries was proved by carrying out in Tokyo in 1964 of the Summer Olympic Games where the city profitable proved to be on the international scene. From 1970th years of Tokyo the wave of labor power from rural areas overflowed that caused further development of the city. By the end of the 1980th years it became one of the most dynamically developing cities on Earth. On March 20, 1995 in the Tokyo subway there was a seismic activity near Tokyo led to the beginning of discussions about transfer of the capital of Japan to other city. 3 candidates are called. I will piss. 300 came to the north. Higashino. Near Nagano, the central Japan. And the new city in the province Mai near Nagoya. Now Tokyo continues to develop. It is noticeable when comparing photos of the beginning of the 1990th years with present satellite maps. Projects on creation of artificial islands are consistently realized. The most noticeable project is Odaiba, which is the main shopping and entertainment center now. The highest television tower in Japan and around the world, Tokyo Skytree. Geography. The mainland of Tokyo is in the northwest of Tokyo Bay. About 90 km long from the east on the west and 25 km from the north on the south. In the east it borders on the prefecture of Chiba, in the west, on the prefecture Yamanashi, in the south, on the prefecture of Kanagawa and in the north, on the prefecture Saitama. Continental Tokyo further are subdivided into the special districts of Tokyo. On the east half. Besides, within administrative borders of Tokyo there are 2 chains of islands in the Pacific Ocean located directly to the south from Honshu. It is islands Tuids and the Ogasawara Islands which stretched more than 1,400 km from the mainland of Japan. Tokyo transferred several powerful earthquakes. In 1703, 1782, 1812, 1855, 1923 and 2011. In 1923, as a result of the great earthquake measuring 8.3 of Kanto, about card people died. Islands. Tokyo has many remote islands, one of which is removed on 1850 came from the central part of Tokyo. Because of long distance from the administrative headquarters of the capital government in Shinjuku, islands are operated by administration of the districts of Tokyo. National parks. National Park of Fuji-Hakone-Izu. At the Imperial Palace. In Tokyo there are several national parks, among them Meiji's Grove around Mount Takao. In the south of Hachioji. National Park Ogasawara. On Bonin Islands. Since 2006 until present, efforts are made to make it the UNESCO Natural World Heritage Site. Ueno Park, known for the museums. In this park, the following museums are located. Tokyo National Museum, National Museum of Science, Museum Sitamote and National Museum of the Western Art. Kasei-Rinke Park. Climate. The Tokyo Anti-Flute Collector, the world's largest underground anti-flute engineering construction. The most part of the capital district of Tokyo is located in a zone of subtropical oceanic climate, with hot damp summer and in the soft or cool dry winter. The warmest month August, on average 26. 4 C, and the coldest month January, on average 5.2 C. Record-breaking low temperature is -9.2 C is registered on January 13, 1876, and record-breaking high -39.5 C is registered on July 20, 2004. The annual amount of precipitation averages about 1530 millimeters. In the winter the amount of precipitation decreases and increases in the summer. On climate of Tokyo, the plum rain, the rainy season called in Japan Tukui. A plum rain, plum strongly influences the rain. It lasts since May until the end of July. Because Tukui in Japan to have mainly for summer months, in Kanto's region where Tokyo is located, lasts approximately from June 7 to July 20, on the Pacific coast of Japan where Tokyo is located and the most part of the population of Japan lives, in summer months the effect which in many respects influenced history and development of the Japanese nation is observed. The Japanese architecture, the culture of onsen. Traditional Japanese varnish art. Combinations of two factors of very high summer temperatures and very high humidity. The summer in Tokyo, because of influence of the ocean which cooled down during the winter, comes rather late, only by May. It is long, hot and very stuffy because of high humidity, and comes to an end only by November. The fall begins in November, and in February gradually passes into spring, because of the fact the climate of the city subtropical, the winter with steady negative temperatures and snow cover is absent here. Warmest month August, cold is January. Snowfall in Tokyo, the phenomenon, is a rule, single for all winter that occurs almost annually. Typhoons often come to Tokyo, though strong of them units. Most damp month since the beginning of registration in 1876 there was in October 2004 when 780 millimeters of rainfall, including 270.5 for the 9th day of this month dropped out. They last from 4 months in the history of observations without any precipitations, December 1995. The annual amount of precipitation fluctuates from 879.5 min 1984 up to 2,229.6 min 1938. In October 2019, one of the most powerful typhoons, Hagibis, came. The 9th typhoon of the 19th year of Heisei. That is 2007. On the international classification having the name Fito, was the previous strong typhoon. Tokyo includes 23 special areas which till 1943 were a part of the city, but now it is the separate self-coping municipalities, everyone with the mayor and council. In addition to these 23 municipalities, the prefecture includes 26 cities, 1 county and 4 districts, 5 settlements and 8 villages. The Tokyo government is headed by the governor elected by the population and a city meeting. The headquarters of the government is in Shinjuku. It manages all Tokyo, including lakes, the rivers, dams, farms, remote islands and national parks. Each of 23 special areas, the independent municipal unit with own mayor and regional council. As it was already noted, on the status special areas are equated to the usual cities, however differ from them in the fact that some of their managerial functions are performed by the capital government of the District of Tokyo. As of October 1, 2005, the general population of all 23 special areas made about 457 million people, and population density -13603 persons on km. To the west from special areas there are cities. They serve as dormitory. The highest mountain in Tokyo, the mountain Kumotori -2017 m, also are in the district of Tokyo Mountains. Takanosu 1737 m. Odake 1266 m. and Mitake 929 m. The Lake Okatuma, on the Tama River near the prefecture Yamanashi, is the largest lake in Tokyo. On islands 2 settlements and 7 villages entering 4 districts of Tokyo are located. Big Tokyo is the urban area, city agglomeration and regional agglomeration with the biggest population in the world, with the population as of 2016 in card people, is a part of a megalopolis of Tokyo. As of October 2007, by estimates in Tokyo there live 12.79 million people, from them 8.653 million people live in 23 special areas. In the afternoon, 5 million workers and students coming from the neighboring areas. This effect has even more pronounced character in 3 central regions: Chiyoda, Chiyo and Minato, whose general population as of 2005 made 326,000 people at night and 2.4 million in the afternoon. From foreigners for 2008 in Tokyo, most of all lived Chinese -145,320 people, then residents of South and North Korea 117,567. It is much less than Filipinos 31974. Americans 19408. Indians 9418. 7 million people lived in the capital, and in 1962 the population of Tokyo reached 10 million. Sharp demographic growth resulted in excessive concentration of the population, deterioration in ecological conditions of accommodation, inflation of the housing prices, etc. With respect to Pareto, in 1980 and 1995 short-term demographic recession was observed. Between 2000 and 2010 the population of the mother country grew by 9%. Permanent influx of immigrants from other prefectures remains a basic reason of growth. Population density in Tokyo the highest in Japan. My results of a census of 2005 it made 5,750.7 people came. Due to from the middle of the 1990th years the population of Tokyo quickly and steadily grows old. It is connected with the gradual recession of birth rate in the 1960th years caused by change of traditionally Japanese family values. As of 2005, Tokietsu more senior than 64 years made about 20% of the population. 2215 people were more senior than 100 years. The sexual ratio also changed in the late 90s. If within the 20th century in the capital men prevailed, then since 1998 they conceded number 2 women. Tokyo is considered the large international center. However, the number of the foreigners working and living in the mother country is low. As of 2005 they made only about 3. Tokyo is the main economic center of Japan. The basis of economy of the mother country is made by the industries of secondary and tertiary sectors of economy. As of 1995 the able-bodied, in connection with a prompt urbanization, after World War II of Tokyo won first place on the level of industrial production, but as of 2005 fell to the 8th. This regulation was designed to solve numerous environmental problems of Tokyo suffering from excessive As of 1995 in the capital there were 10367 families which processed 8408 hectares of arable lands. Professional Tokyo farmers made 13.9% of all persons occupied in agriculture and 16.1% of number of all Japanese farmers. 0.59 hectares of the earth were the share of one family or economy on average. About a half of arable lands are not processed as a third of farmers are more senior than 60 years. The most part of agricultural products is grown up in the mountainous area of Okum and the remote islands, and smaller, on personal country plots. The capital provides itself with vegetables for 10.1%. The role of silkworm breeding and cattle breeding in primary sector of economy of Tokyo is small. After 1965 production was sharply reduced. For the end of the 1990th years the consumption level Tokietsu of meat and eggs of local production did not exceed 2% and milk -4%. The forest area, wood procurement and woodworking are developed in mountains Okutami. The main breeds of a tree are the Cryptomeria and Aetupilistni cypress. However, the majority of the woods are not cut down and protected and used as a recreational resource. So, by the number of forestry of Tokyo took the 10th place from 47 prefectures, and by the number of extraction of wood, only 42. As of 1990 the state owned 7.9% of all Tokyo forests. The others belonged to individuals and public organizations. The separate industry of forest area popular in Tokyo, cultivation of mushrooms to Asitaka is. Fishery is developed poorly. Tokyo Bay, which was the traditional place for fishing, is strongly polluted. The main fishing population lives on the remote islands. The authorities of the capital contributes to the development of tourist fishery. Secondary sector. In 1950, Tokyo won first place in the country on industrial outputs. By 1995, positions of the capital decreased to the fourth place. Transfer of large industrial enterprises out of borders of the capital was the main cause of recession. Despite it, Tokyo remains the national leader in the number of the industrial enterprises and faces occupied in industrial production. As of 1994, in the capital there were 35512 companies of the secondary sector, at which about 667,000 people were employed. Among these enterprises, representatives of small and medium business prevailed. A state of 64% of all industrial companies did not exceed 10 people. The large plants were placed, generally outside the capital, in a coastal strip between Kawasaki and Yokohama. In the late 90s, profits of exclusively capital industry were only 6-7% of the all Japanese industrial income, minus 19 trillion yens. But the share of network of the Tokyo industry that stretches across all southern Kanto's territory made 23.1% of this income, minus 69 trillion yens. Primary branch of the industry of Tokyo is the mechanical engineering. In it, the leading place belongs to production of home appliances and high-tech devices, cameras, hours, optical lenses, etc. These products occupy the 1/4 part of domestic market of these goods. The second most important industry is the industry of assembly of machines and devices, and also production of spare parts. Its enterprises control 50% of the Japanese market. The centers of these two industries are located in the areas of Ota, Tsunegawa, Meguro and Itabashi. The share of raw material companies of the metallurgical, chemical, oil processing and coal industry from all industrial companies of Tokyo is low and makes about 10%. A separate important role in the system of the secondary sector of economy of the capital is played by light industry. The multimillion population of Tokyo, which is constantly needing Massachusetts sales items, contributes to its development. The leading industries are food, tanning and textile. The capital publishing industry, which turns out about a half of all Japanese printed materials, has the highest profits. Places of its arrangement are the areas of Chiyoda, Shinjuku and Chiyo. Since the end of the 1980th year, special development was gained business of a fashion in the areas of Minato and Tsubaya, and also by production of jewelry, cosmetics and drugs in the areas of Teto, Sumida, Arakawa and Koto. Characteristic features of light industry in the capital are domination of medium-sized and small enterprises, and also a combination by the enterprises of functions of production and sales of goods. Tertiary sector. Tokyo is one of 3 world financial centers, along with New York and London. Tokyo, one of the most economically developed agglomerations in the world. According to the researches conducted by the PricewaterhouseCoopers Company, the Tokyo City area. The prefectures of Tokyo, Kanagawa and Tip together, 35.2 million people. For 2005, DDD in total has $191 trillion at par purchasing power, and wins first place among the largest agglomerations in the world on DDD. In 2008, DDD On PPS, Tokyo reached $1.497 trillion. In 2009, 51 companies from Fortune Global 500 were in Tokyo. Tokyo is a large international financial center and the headquarters of a number of the largest world investment banks and insurance companies, and also performs functions of the concentrator of the transport, publishing and broadcasting industry in Japan. During the centralized growth of the Japanese economy after World War II, many large companies transferred the headquarters from such cities as Osaka, the historical financial capital, to Tokyo, in an attempt to take an advantage of broader access to the power. In the last time, this trend declined because of the continuing growth of the population in Tokyo and high cost of life there. Tokyo was estimated by The Economist magazine as the most expensive, the highest cost of life, the city in the world for 14 years in a row, till 2006. The Tokyo Stock Exchange of Japan, the largest stock exchange and also second in the world on market capitalization and the fourth in size shares in turnover. Transport. Mark of 0 kilometer in Japan on Nikonbashi Bridge. Tokyo is the main transport center of Japan and Kanto's region. As of 1994, in the sphere of transport, 470,000 people worked. Stolichnaya Highway No. 2. The place of 0 kilometer of Japan is the Tokyo Nikonbashi Bridge. From here, in the form of beams, there are main transport arteries, the state highways No. 1 and No. 15. The former Tokeiskai Road. No. 20. The Binkeiskaya Road. No. 17. The former Gornia Road. To No. 4. Which were Musivsky and Nikoski are expensive. No. 6. The being Mitoskaya Road. No. 14. Tupskaya Road. No. 254. Kavagogoskia Road. No. 246. The road to Uyama. No. 122. Nikonari Road. In 1975, the grid of these ways was entirely modernized and complemented with new freeways. Tokyo, Central, Northeast, Jibunskaya, East Kanto and Embankment. 11 speedways in the territory of 23 special districts of Tokyo were also in addition paved. The central part of the mother country is surrounded with the Belt Road. It is formed by a combination of the former Kamakurskaya Road and Highway No. 16. For improvement of traffic on this way, additional 8 ways are laid. The existing network of roads provides the proper movement of the motor transport going from Tokyo to regions and back. However, in Tokyo there is unresolved a problem of jams on roads to time of rush hours. Constantly high concentration of the motor transport in the capital is the reason of strong air pollution. Walking and driving the bicycle meet much more often than in many cities of the world. Private cars and motorcycles play a supporting role in city transport. Private cars in Big Tokyo make less than 20% of daily trips, as ownership of privately owned vehicles is authorized only to those who have previously purchased parking space. Railway transport is a main type of public transport in Tokyo. It daily transports tens of millions of passengers. The leading railway company of the capital is JR, which works since 1872. The Tokyo station is a starting point for the regular trains going to the neighboring regions, the main Tokaido lines and Sobu, and also for the high-speed Shinkansen transporting to regions Toka, Hokurikido, Tohoku and Dioesu. The Wano station serves as the place of sending regular trains by the main Tohoku line, the Jyoban line. The station of Shinjuku is the central station of the ring capital road of JR. In Tokyo, the extensive network of the railroads connecting all remote points of the mother country to 23 special areas works. Thanks to diversification of the business in real estate field, retail trade, etc. Directly in buildings of railway stations and areas around them, the majority of the private railroads in Japan are financially independent, and their railway transactions are usually profitable. That sharply contrasts with most railway networks in other countries of the world. The Japanese private railway lines are very effective, demand few subsidies and work extremely punctually. Because of Massachusetts' use of railway transport, in Japan there is 46 of the 50 most loaded railway stations of the world. In the territory of Big Tokyo there are 0.61 railway stations on each 2.5 km. Are on one railway station on each 4.1 km. The built-up territory. Suburban rail transportation very dense. 6 million people to the line in a year, and the highest rate among the central urban areas. Popular means of public transport is the Tokyo subway. It works since 1927 within 23 special areas. As in Tokyo, there is the most extensive in the world A-city railway system. As of May 2014 in Tokyo, 158 lines, 48 operators, 4,714.5 km of operational railway tracks and 2210 stations are located. The Tokyo subway makes only a small share of high-speed rail transportation in Tokyo, only 285 of 2210 railway stations. The Tokyo subway transports daily 8.7 million passengers. 14.6 billion a year. That makes only 22% of 40 million passengers who are daily using the railway Tokyo system. The Tokyo subway has an extensive network of lines which covers all east part of the mother country. These are lines Ginza, Marunouchi, Hibiya, Hanzaman, Tyoda, Tadzi, Yurakucho to Nambak, Fakutasen, Mite, Shinjuku, Osaka, Odo. Because of development of the subway and the motor transport, the Tokyo trams, which worked in the capital since 1903, practically disappeared. For the end of the 1990th years, only one tram Arakawa line between areas Sonovabashi and Waseda worked. Since 1931 in Tokyo, the Tokyo Haneda Airport, renamed in 1952 into the International Airport of Tokyo, works. More than 30 years it was main window of Japan to the world. Since 1978, after a construction of the new international airport in Narita, in the prefecture of Chiba, the old airport began to specialize mainly in internal transportations. Despite it, twice more passengers than Narita Airport use Tokyo Haneda Airport. Annually through both airports there pass about 35% of all air passengers who visit or take off from Japan. The center of Tokyo is connected with Tokyo Haneda Airport, a monorail, and with Narita Airport, high-speed trains of the JR company. Except these airports, there are several regional airfields for civilian airliners. They connect the capital with the remote islands of Osima, Miyakojima, Iwatake and others. Massachusetts media. Tokyo, the leading Japanese and international information center. In the capital, the main representations of 80% of all Japanese newspapers and publishing houses are placed. Yomiuri Shimbun, Mainichi Shimbun, Nikkan Kizhi Shimbun, Ivanami Shimbun, etc. Regional printing. Massachusetts media have affiliated representations in Tokyo. In the capital, 90% of the all-Japanese income from printed materials are concentrated. In the capital, library archiving is developed. The central organizations of this industry are National Parliamentary Library of Japan, that keeps all Japanese printing editions published after 1945, and National Archive of Japan, which includes Old Library of the Cabinet. Large library stocks have the libraries of the universities placed in Tokyo, Library of East Literature, and also specialized libraries. Education. In Tokyo, the set of colleges, professional schools and universities, including such most prestigious as the University of Tokyo, the Tokyo Joint Capital University, the Hitotsubashi University, the Tokyo Institute of Technology, Waseda University and Keio University is located. Culture. Since the shogunate basis Tokugawa in Edo in the 17th century, Tokyo was the political cultural center of the country. Therefore, in its territory many cultural sites remained. The Edo Lock is the main decoration of the capital, a special historical and cultural monument. The first, second and third castle yards are allocated under the Tokyo Imperial Palace, and the northern yard is transformed to the park. On perimeter of the lock, ancient towers, stone walls and deep ditches are located. Among historical monuments, the estate of the Sword Matsudaira, the old palace Hama Park, the former estate of the shogun Tokugawa Inobu, the garden Koizakawa Korakuen, the former estate of a sword Tokugawa from the Principality of Mito. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.